Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday, the 4th of August 2023. I'm Adam Lang. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1. It was a bad day for healthcare stocks while the energy sector lifted and the whole market rose by 0.2%, up 14 to 7,325 points. That leaves the S&P ASX 200 down 1% for the week and 3.2% below the 12-month high. Domino's was among the best performers, up 4% to $51.09. The worst performer, ResMed, reported an increase in revenue but fell over 9% to $30.70. Afterpay parent Block beat forecasts, but the stock tumbled by 5.8% to $109.51 as investors showed concerns about the path ahead. The share price of biotech company Mesoblast dropped by over half after the USA's Food and Drug Administration asked for more information about Remestemcel-L to treat a pediatric steroid refractory disease. And alongside the ASX, China's Ministry of Commerce announced it would stop anti-dumping and anti-subsidy tariffs on Australian barley imports. That's great news. Tariffs totaling 80.5% began in May 2020, impacting trade worth up to $2 billion each year. The next harvest of barley will be in October, so let's hope exports can pick up again quickly. Story number 2. The competition regulator says allowing the $4.9 billion merger between ANZ and Suncorp Bank would further entrench an oligopoly, leading to less competition in home loans and, in Queensland, agricultural and business banking. As a result, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission today rejected ANZ's takeover of the bank, but both ANZ and Suncorp have flagged they are ready to appeal the decision to the Australian Competition Tribunal. ACCC Deputy Chairman Mick Keogh said the acquisition, the biggest banking transaction since the global financial crisis, would be to the detriment of customers and raised the risk of coordination between major banks on loan pricing. A new merged ANZ Suncorp would hold about 15.7% of mortgages, leapfrogging National Australia Bank into third on the leaderboard and about 14.1% of household deposits. Story number 3. In a busy week, it has been another big day for the Reserve Bank of Australia as their quarterly statement on monetary policy was released. This is a cracking read for investors, economists and data fiends, setting out the RBA's assessment of economic conditions and the outlook for Australian inflation and output growth. Economic growth is expected to be modest as higher interest rates and the increasing cost of living put pressure on spending. Gross domestic product will expand by just 0.9% in calendar 2023, down from the last forecast of 1.2% and below the current level of 2.3%. Inflation is forecast to decline from 6% now to be around 4.1% by December, 3.25% at the end of 2024, and back within the 2 to 3% target range in late 2025. Unemployment at 3.5% now and is expected to rise a little with immigration adding to labour supply. Wages growth has picked up to the highest rate in a decade and now at around 3.5% to 4% and is expected to strengthen in the second half of the year because of the ongoing tightness in the labour market. And the conclusion, the board remains resolute in its determination to return inflation to target and will do what is necessary to achieve that outcome. That sounds like the path to lower interest rates is not clear yet, and some economists are expecting one more rate rise to come. I'll be making my way through the full 78-page report over the weekend. If you want to do the same, head to rba.gov.au. Story number 4. Shares in Australia's biggest tech company, Atlassian, surged on Wall Street this morning after the release of its June quarterly results. Scott Farquhar, co-founder and co-CEO of the company, said the company had closed out a challenging year with strong momentum in cloud migrations, enterprise sales, and within the information technology service management market. Total revenue for the quarter was up 24% from a year ago. Operating loss was slightly larger than a year ago at US $50 million. And at the close, Scott Farquhar and Mike Cannon-Brookes are each about $3 billion richer after the share price rose 23%. Apple also reported this morning, and its results were slightly disappointing with revenue lower on the back of a fall in iPhone sales. Amazon also reported, and its cloud business is doing well, sending its share price higher. And story number 5. Donald Trump pleaded not guilty this morning during a first court appearance in the latest criminal case brought against him, in which the former US president is accused of attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The hearing at federal court in downtown Washington came 2 days after the Department of Justice charged him with 4 criminal counts, including conspiracies to defraud the US and to obstruct official proceedings. Jack Smith, the special counsel who oversaw the investigation against Trump, was present in the courtroom. Trump has previously described Smith as, quote, a deranged lunatic. Imagine the tension in that room. Trump confirmed his name and age. Afterwards, Trump blasted the indictment as the persecution of a political opponent in very brief remarks before boarding his plane to head back to his golf club in New Jersey. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 4th of August, 2023. Michael Thompson, Sean Aylmer and I will be back tomorrow morning with the weekend edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Adam Lang. Enjoy your evening.